Okay, today we're going to look at Orlando Scandrick from the Kansas City Chiefs, a guy that I think really is playing to his fullest potential right now. Not one of the top corners in the league, by any means. I think he does have some limitations, but he's a guy who is really stepping up and getting it done for the Chiefs right now. And as I said, really playing to the height of his potential. So we're going to look at their Week 7 matchup with the Bengals and look at a few plays Scandrick had in that matchup. Here he's at the bottom. He's lined up on A.J. Green, so one of the league's top receivers. They've got the slant here. All right, he's playing him tight. Okay, Green releases inside, and you see the position Scandrick has here. He's right on him. All right, and he's in great position to come around with that offhand and deflect the ball while being able to be in a secure position to make a tackle with his on hand. All right, when I say on hand, offhand, all right, what I'm referring to is the on hand is the near hand to the receiver. All right, which on a slant would be the inside hand, right hand in this case, and the offhand is away from the receiver, the outside hand here, or the left hand for Scandrick. So he does a really good job with that. Plays right on it, eyes to the quarterback, gets the read, knocks the ball down. So that's an excellent play right there by Scandrick. We'll get a little bit of a view here as it comes into the tight. All right, yep, so definitely good job there by Scandrick on that rep. All right, we're going to go about halfway through the quarter to another Cincinnati possession. All right, they're backed up here. This is the first play of the drive. All right, we've got Scandrick on the bottom. He's playing loose this time. Loose coverage. All right, Green hitches up, and we can see it. Look, Green's hitched. Ball's out of Dalton's hand. Scandrick's already breaking on that thing. So Scandrick doing a real good job there, breaking on that, reading the quarterback's indicator. So if I back it up, I'm going to try and back it up real slow here. All right, right there. All right, we see Dalton's got his arm cocked, just really kind of starting to come forward with it. All right. Scandrick's got his eyes on the receiver. As he hitches up, he comes into his break. Right, he puts his weight back. And his weight's not in great position. He's a little bit away from his body, but some guys just kind of move like that. All right, so he seems to be one of those guys. That's fine for him. He breaks on it. All right, gets his body in good position, makes a tackle. Not a pretty tackle, not bringing his hips, but he's not diving at the ankles and missing it or anything either. It's an effective tackle on that one. Prevents that from going for any additional yards. You're playing loose, you're playing off. You give up 8 yards in that play, but hey, you live to fight another day with that. And that's really the thing about playing pass defense. People really got to understand with defense in general. You gotta have ice in your veins, and you gotta not be afraid to give up little things to lose the battle sometimes, so to speak. And anytime when you're playing, if they complete a pass underneath, when you're playing loose like that, that's fine. Make the tackle. Even if it gives up a first down, make the tackle. All right, get yourself into a better position because when you're playing in that position, you're more concerned with the deeper passes coming in. Take that stuff away. They want to take the underneath stuff. You got to rally up there and make the tackle on it because offensive coordinators get bored fast. They're not going to throw hitches straight down the field. The majority of them won't. The smart ones will. If you're going to play them loose and let them have it, the smart ones will. But the majority of them won't. They'll get bored. They'll try something stupid, and you'll be able to make a play. All right, so again, we're looking at the bottom. So this is Ross here matched up. Okay, we're going to see right away on the release his eyes, all right? His eyes are focused on Ross. All right, focused on his hips. Right there, we see Ross breaks the plane, right? Gets to his hip. He turns around. He's got his eyes looking right at his hips, running down the sideline. Now, Ross has about a step on him, all right, but he's pretty much running stride for stride with him. And we know how fast John Ross is. We know about his record. Hasn't been a standout receiver yet in the NFL, but we know he can be fast. That's definitely something that defenses are aware of, and Scandrick being able to run with him in that position, looking good there. All right, bottom of the screen here, cover one, loose on Tyler Boyd. All right, as that receiver comes in. Oh, excuse me. I wonder why that wasn't matching up. All right, there we go. We're backing off. We're playing loose here on Boyd. All right. Now Boyd breaks in, and you see once again he's reading these routes out. He's playing loose with it. He's defending against the deep pass. All right. Now this thing breaks in. He's not just going to sit there. He's going to break on it as well. All right. We see that angle. He's taking an angle to intersect the route. All right. And he's got to keep his eyes on that in case it changes. All right. But, you see this as the ball goes the other direction. Boyd's getting basically right to where he was going to be. He's got that angle figured out. He's got a real good concept to that. That's a good job there. All right, a little bit later in the quarter, still at the bottom of the screen here. All right, jumps inside. All right, gets in good position, good leverage there, right underneath that route. But being real patient with him, lets it happen, stays inside. All right, you see he kind of peeks back around to see what's going on, but he maintains position on the receiver here. All right, that's a good job. All right, once again at the bottom, you're going to see he's going to back off. He's got John Ross there. Ross breaks that cushion real quick. All right. But he gets right up on it. All right, and looks to tighten up that gap and match up on him. Now, they run into each other, and Ross ends up on the ground. So most of the time you're going to see a pass interference on something like that, whether it's warranted or not. All right. But the idea is with his feet, he was getting there, right where he should be. He does kind of throw this shoulder into Ross, and obviously, would have been a good PI call on that one with Ross falling down. But he is doing what he needs to be doing with his feet there. So that's a good look there. All right, up at the top now. All right, so he's riding this receiver now. All right, he's all over him. All right, but clearly they're not calling anything tonight. It's a primetime game, and I guess they're not looking to make any headlines from the officials here. So he's all over him. All right, hey, but you like the fight. You like how you like what he's doing with his feet and how he's able to maintain that position. Not getting pushed off, not getting thrown off by throwing his weight around too much on that. All right. And again, that's what some of these guys need to do. When you're not Darrelle Revis, you're not one of the top guys, fighting a little bit, and getting the most out of what you can do, being physical, that's going to pay off. And yeah, you're going to get those penalties sometimes. Number one, they're not going to throw a penalty on every play. So, go there, set the tone, be physical, and you can do that and get away with it. And number two, you're going to be worth it in some cases. It's going to throw off the receivers' route rhythm. It's going to throw off the way they're playing the game. You can get in their head sometimes. We've seen Josh Norman do that with Odell. We've seen Keep Talib do that. You can kind of get in their head a little bit with it. And then sometimes on the deeper looks, it might be necessary. It might save a touchdown and be worth it. So, all right, now we are up at the top once again. All right, so kind of rounds that off. Here a little bit rougher on the slant. First of all, just watch kind of how his weight all shifts backwards right here on the snap of the ball. He almost kind of sits down with his butt. That's not fast. That's not fast. That's not going to help him out. He takes that misstep moving forward. Now his weight all goes back, so he's slow in his transition. He's kind of rounding it around to get to that slant. He's not in the position he was in before. That's a spot where the receiver has a chance at making a play on that. So he's got to do better on that. Not the look we saw the last time around. Up top once again, we're seeing impressed. Right, he's living up there all day, and that's a mindset. All right. That's a mindset, being up there, being up against that receiver, playing tight, having the guts to do that, and being able to do that all day long. That's winning the mental battle right there. We see he's real patient with it. He's kind of slowly backing out, not turning his hips, not letting that inside. All right. We see he does turn his hips finally when they get to the edge. All right. When that receiver has that outside release on him, he does turn his hips to him, and he's in good position here. All right, that receiver's got nowhere to go. All right, he's got about 2 feet or something between him and the him and the sideline there. There's nothing he can do. So if that ball is going over there, there's nowhere for him to catch that ball. There's nowhere for him to adjust, nowhere for that quarterback to put the ball into. So that's definitely a good job on that rep. Up top once again, all right. He's just playing the left side, so that's where we're to see him. All right. But we see these the initial footwork, quick to get out here. All right. The receiver not messing around for too long. All right. He starts to lean back and really turns his hips faster than he wants to there. All right. Where it is opening up a possibility for an inside release. Click the wrong thing there. Excuse me. All right. It is opening up a possibility for an inside release as we watch in slow-mo here. All right. Right there, he's turned his hips. Plenty of room there for that receiver to put a foot in the ground and take that sucker in, and he's going to be wide open on that. So before we had talked about how the receivers were generally getting to his hip before he turned. Now he's starting to turn a little bit too fast on it. So that's something he's going to want to avoid there. All right, but then he matches up real well to it. All right, he matches up real well to it, and again, he's kind of riding towards the sideline, getting right on the hip, not giving them any room to catch anything out there. Obviously, this is a run play, all right, but when you're locked up, you're man-to-man, he doesn't know it's a run play. If the receiver's doing a good job, run it off, he's not going to know it's a run play. So you got to look at that and judge that the same way as you would with a pass. All right, up top once again. Slot comes over. They don't seem to have much going on there. Backer works out. All right, but now he is getting there's a different kind of look here. He's been playing a lot of loose man, a lot of tight man. All right, but now you can see the rotation here. He starts to work over. He works back, and we've got a cover 2 look. All right, so we do see him get his hands on that receiver, make sure that release is coming inside. It's a little deeper than you're supposed to do that in the NFL, but I don't really care. All right, and he is aware of this inside receiver. As the number 1 receiver releases vertical and he gets that jam, he's got his eyes inside on this slot receiver. He sees what's going on with that. And if the ball is going that direction, he's going to be able to break and at least be in position to make a tackle on that. All right, up top, once again, playing tight, and we got a lot of problems here. All right, real quick little release here for Green. All right, he's playing at the top of the numbers, and he's right away because they're going to the fade right away here. He's taking a quick little jab step in, gets Scandrick to open up. All right. And now he's got the step he needs on him. Scandrick loses his footing a little bit. All right, but he keeps fighting. He's not looking for the ball. You never look for the ball when you're beat because nobody's throwing you the ball. All right. NFL quarterbacks aren't going to just loft it up there and give you a shot at that. You got to keep running for it. So he does a good job here. He stays focused. All right. And he gets there and he's able to, run him down and make the touchdown saving tackle there. All right. And sometimes that's all you can do. The rules of the game have been modified over the years to the major favor of the offense. There's going to be plenty of situations where you can't shut him down. The whole don't give him a yard thing, that ain't real life. Sometimes these things happen. He took a bad step, then he tripped, another bad step. All right. We see him right there, slow to transition. That's part of what causes him to get tripped up because his butt was back. All right, but as long as you keep fighting, you can make up for these things. All right, and he's able to at least keep him out for a moment there. So, pretty good look there. Well, not to start with, but ended things off the right way. All right, last one we're going to look at here. This thing gets kind of crazy and out of hand in the second half. But up top, once again, quick little jab step to the inside from Green. All right. And he's able to get the step, start to work him in again, and real nice cut there, able to create separation the receiver is. So we're giving up way too much separation out there. A lot of room for him to make a play on that ball. Unfortunately, the ball isn't what you want it to be. Unfortunately for the offense, the ball isn't what you want it to be. But he is able to make a play. He's in a good position there. So giving up too much space there defensively. Scandrick is definitely a guy who has surprised me this year. Probably shouldn't be a number 1 corner in the NFL. And he's been thrust into that role for the Chiefs, and he is, he's fighting for it. He's fighting. He's doing some little things very well. Consistency is an issue, as it's going to be when you're playing, at that level, when you're playing to the height of your potential. But really, it's the best he can do, and they're getting all out of him. So you got to worry that at some point somebody's going to take advantage of that. Somebody's going to find that. Definitely a concern. But right now, he's doing a great job, and he's not, like I said, an elite corner in this league. But he's playing at a very high level and really fighting and grinding it out. So it's been impressive so far for him this season. If you like this stuff, I've got a lot more content. Everything I do, I put on my Twitter at Coach Minnick, which is linked. The @ is below in the description area here. So be sure to give me a follow. I got the same handle on Instagram, although that's largely nonsense. I put some clips up there every once in a while, though. But all my content goes through that Twitter, right for Cincy Jungle, SB Nation, Grueling Truth. So yeah, be sure to check that stuff out. Lots more DB breakdowns to come over the season, and we'll get thoroughly into this crop of defensive backs in college coming up within the next couple months here, and as we get along to the draft. So lots of draft content to come, particularly focusing on the DBs. So thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking it out for the entire 20 minutes. More to come next week.